Good morning, everybody. Just glad to be back home. Really been a tough stretch for us, 3 out of the last 4 on the road, and proud of our guys and how they've competed. To at this point to be 10-0 is something that we're obviously very proud of, and something that's not easy to do, and just proud of our team for where we are right now. But getting back home this week is something we've been looking forward to. This is always a special time. Nobody does Military Appreciation Day better than Clemson. It just is with our heritage. In fact, I was reading in the notes that Tim gives us on some of the specific guys and how all the I think the entire freshman class, I believe, in World War I, is that correct? Enlisted, and just amazing the amount of servicemen that we've had from Clemson University. I think we were maybe 3rd in World War II as far as alumni or students that went to be a part of the war. So there's just a deep, rich heritage here from a military standpoint, and I think our fans, they get that. So it's not just, kind of checking a box, if you will. It really is a celebration, and we play in Memorial Stadium, and it is a great day to honor, all those who fought for this country and served this country. So something I always love being a part of, and then it's our seniors' last game. And when you've played the game, whether your last game is in high school, and I remember my last game in high school like it was yesterday, playing Thompson Warriors. And now I'll never forget walking off the field, going to the field house, and, you're in there in the locker room with your teammates, and you're just like, man, you put all that work into something, and, there's a finality to it, and you got to move on to the next thing. It's the same thing for these guys at this level. Some of them will have an opportunity to play after Clemson. Most of them won't. There's an appreciation, I think, that as the older you get, whether you're in life or you're just a guy that was as a freshman, now he's a senior, you just smell the roses a little. And so it's always a special time to honor our seniors. And especially, this is a group that one of the things we talk about all the time is leave the place better than you found it, leave a legacy. And, these guys are going for their 43rd win, on their senior day, which would make them the winningest class ever. They would surpass last year's class. And and set a new standard, for the next group coming up. So we look forward to that opportunity, and I think it's a chance for maybe even a 700th win in our program's history. Which is, wow. There's been a lot of wins and a lot of people who've come before us. So we're just happy to have, our opportunity right now. Wake Forest, offensively, really young. I think they've got 18 freshmen and sophomores listed in their, 2 deep across their depth chart offensively. They're going to play 2 quarterbacks. I don't know which one they'll play. Both of them have been effective. Both of them have played all year. And, so we'll prepare like we always have, because it seems like we've seen this quite a bit this year, with 2 quarterbacks. They're going to play 3 backs. They've got 2 freshman wideouts that are talented, a little raw, but you can see the great ball skills, and they've gotten better. If you really watch all their tape, they've improved. Like most freshmen do, they get better as the year goes. And then they got a veteran guy, a kid that actually transferred from over to South Carolina at number 80. He's got some juice to him, good player. You can tell that he's played and has good experience. I think they're really good inside. Center and the 2 guards, veteran guys, good football players. To me, it looks like they're kind of the leaders of their offense. Really young at tackle. They got 4 freshmen at tackle. So they're guys that I think have bright futures, guys that have been battle tested as the season has gone on, that have also improved, but they're really young there. And defensively, totally different story. These guys are they're a bunch of veterans, They're top 20 in the country in 5 different categories defensively. They just went to Notre Dame on Notre Dame's senior day and held them to 282 yards, and they shut Fuller down. Fuller, I think, had 37 yards, which I think that's the second lowest that he's had. I think the first lowest was to Clemson. So, we all know what kind of player Fuller is and what kind of team Notre Dame has, and they really did a good job at Notre Dame. So this is a big challenge for us, for our offense. These guys are incredibly well coached, and again, they got a little more experience on that side of the ball. Very, very good scheme, and they know exactly what they're doing. They've got some good zone stoppers. They do a nice job with their pressure packages, and not just they kind of got the whole menu, if you will, but they know when to call it. And they do a good job of attacking your protections, and so this is a big challenge for us this week to really be on the same page. I didn't think we played very well against them last year up there offensively. They sacked us. We had some tackles for loss. Now we had some big plays, but we missed some plays too, and we were able to kind of wear them down and get control of the game, and won by a couple touchdowns up there. But it was a tough, hard-fought game. It really was. So. Got a lot of respect for what they've done defensively this year. And, the one thing I'll say about Coach Clawson, if you really study him and his background, he's just in his second year now in building this program. This team is heading in the right direction from a scheme standpoint, recruiting standpoint. And, they're going to continue to get better. There's no doubt about it. But we're going to have to play well. The biggest thing for us that I'm excited about is at the end of the day, we got 18 days left with the chance to punch a ticket to the college football playoff. And that's really what it comes down to. And you talk about a fun time, something that at this point in the season where you just got to freaking embrace it and you can just smell it. It's exciting because you work all year long, and now you're right here, and and these guys have done a great job of just trying to just do their best each and every day, each and every week. But where we are right now, 18 days away, man, we got to maximize each day. We got to have a great day today. I mean, literally, let's just have the best Tuesday that we've had all year. Try to get us a great game plan together. We need to play a great game at home this week and just try to take it, again, when you got 18 days, man, you can't afford to waste a day. We need to really put the hammer down and put our best foot forward each and every day. It's not a time to grow weary. It's a time to grow stronger and to accelerate through the finish line, not cruise. So that's kind of where we are right now inside our walls and the mentality that we have, and just trying to, again, have the best Tuesday practice that we've had all year. That's going to be our focus today.
I've heard you mention a very similar thing to what you just said on your call-in show last night. Have you started talking to your players about, that it's so close you can reach out and touch
Absolutely.
it?
Absolutely. Understand the situation. Understand. Let's know where we are. And again, just a big picture, and let's get dialed in on right now, this moment right here. There's no question. I mean, it's where we are. It's here.
That's a departure, though, from what you've been doing the week by week.
No, this is still week by week. It's day by day. It's no different than what we talked about 2 weeks ago. We talked about, destinations. But if we want to get there, here's what it's going to take. It's the same thing. We're the finish line, we can see it, but we want to sprint through it. And so, we cannot waste a step. Each day is a step. If there's 18 days left, I mean, we can't waste a meeting. We can't waste a practice. We got to have a sense of urgency to the nth degree. That's what I want to see every single day. Again, because I want to see us sprinting, through the finish line.
Have you just started talking to them about their players about the finish line? Just haven't heard a lot of finish line throughout the.
Because we hadn't been near it. We're 18 days away. But we're on our 11th game. I mean, we're done. Our regular season's over next Saturday. So we're then it's postseason. we're right here, and it's a time to really sprint. Everybody refocus, re-energize, recommit, reset, and let's have the best Tuesday that we've had all year. It's a daily focus, but again, understanding the opportunity that we have.
Dabo, do your guys seem a little more comfortable with their position on top than maybe they did 2 weeks ago when it was brand new?
I don't think they've been uncomfortable with their position at all. I think they've just been trying to win the game of the week, and I don't see these guys have not been uncomfortable at all with where they have. They expect to be one of the better teams in the country. They've expected to win every week, and they've won every week. So they're not any different than they were a couple weeks ago. I just think now it's just the finish line is within sight, and it's right there, and we're going to be judged by how we finish. That's how everybody's going to judge us. They're not going to judge us by being 10-0. They're going to judge us by how we sprint through that line. So let's embrace that and let's go get it.
How did McKenzie look last night and the results of his MRI yesterday?
He actually was going today. I haven't got the results. He looked good. We didn't practice him, but he's moving around good and all that type of stuff. But he was actually getting with our guys today and getting the results back. But I haven't gotten them from Danny.
Coach, just listening to you talk, it seems like you're almost calculated by putting out these dabs of wisdom, so to speak.
Dabs of wisdom. Can I tell my wife that? Can I tell my wife that? That's great. Dabs of wisdom.
Whatever you want to do with that phrase, you can. But I'm just wondering, are you calculated in the way you approach your team and deliver these messages at times of the year?
Am I calculated?
Or just sort of go with the flow and how you feel each week?
Yeah, it's a lot of it. I go with the flow and how I feel. I'm a gut guy. I'm an instinct guy. And some of it's calculated. I'm very purposeful in what we do. I always have been. But I also, am who I am. Just no different than I've ever been.
There are a lot of things that can undermine a team, even one that's having the kind of success you're having at this point in the season, because you have a lot of guys who are looking beyond the season. Is that a concern? Is that maybe why you try to reemphasize the goals and the stretch?
No, I think that's leadership of your team. And, you would hope that guys understand that goals beyond Clemson depend on what you do at Clemson. I've always, gotten a kick out of that. Sometimes guys that when the season's over and then they have the mentality of, okay, I'm gonna get committed now. I'm gonna get focused. I'm gonna go get my body right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I'm like, well, the film's already in. It's what you put on tape. And why do you have to wait till then to get serious about it? So, I think we got a committed group of guys. There's always challenges. At the end of the day, there's very few weeks that go by that I don't have to deal with something from a personnel standpoint, because they're people. It's something going on at home. You got guys that, man, everything may look perfect on the outside, but man, they're lost, or they're depressed about something, or something's bothering them, or because they're people. They're just like you and me. They have problems in their life. They have problems at home. They have struggles. Just because they're a good football player and they're performing well on game day doesn't mean that they don't have issues. And so, there's just always something that you deal with, within 115 guys. Always. There's always a discipline thing, whether it's a guy's getting tardies to class, missed a tutor. That's just always the case. But the leadership of your team and all of that stuff, those are the things that you rely on all year long. And it doesn't change, right now. But if we are who I think we are, we'll show up and we'll put our best foot forward each and every opportunity that we have, because that's been our track record. It doesn't mean we're going to win them all, but if we get beat, it's probably going to be because the team that beat us played pretty good, played better than we did. probably earned it. It's not going to be because we, didn't show up or somebody was looking ahead to the pros or all that type of stuff. I just don't buy into all that.
Is there anyone else like Zach who's treating Saturday like a senior day, but they still have some time left?
Zach's graduating in December, and he came to me. The only other one is Travis Blanks. He hasn't made up his mind yet, but he's graduating in December. And my whole thing with guys is graduation. They don't owe us a fifth year, and we don't owe them a fifth year. It's all about graduating, and that's the goal. That's why you come to college. It's just like Deshaun Watson. If he's set up to graduate next December, if he's going to graduate next December, then and he wants to move on, he'll be honored as a senior, because that's what the objective of college is to graduate. And so, we always embrace our guys that way. TJ Burrell, Martin Aiken are two guys that are seniors that have another year of eligibility, but they're going to graduate in May. And, so that's really about it off the top of my head. Sometimes guys, like I said, think they come to you and they say, hey, when the season's over, I've decided I'm going to move on. Whether it's transfer to another school or whether it's they're ready to give the pros a shot. My thing is, I just want them to graduate. That's my number one goal in this program, is to graduate these players. And 120 seniors and 114 graduates, we've done a pretty good job of that. And I think I got 5 juniors out there that owe me too. And we'll chase them down to the ends of the earth till they get it done, because they're going to need it. So, as far as whether a guy's a 5th year, 4th year, 3rd year, I don't really care when they get in that degree. That's all that matters to me.
A little bit along those lines, you mentioned graduate transfer. Would that be an option on the table for Clemson to accept players who want that graduate transfer year, that have graduated elsewhere and then want to play?
Well, we brought one in last year. We brought in the quarterback from Stanford last year. I mean, he did a nice job for us. We needed a 4th-team quarterback. We needed a 4th-team guy, and he filled the need for us. Told him up front, you have no chance to be the starter. Don't need a starter. Don't need a backup. But I need a scout team guy, and I need a 4th guy, because I only had 3. So that was a perfect timing for us, and it was a good opportunity for him. We wanted to get back this way and get into graduate school. We won't make a living doing that here, just because I believe in developing our guys, kind of building the team through the draft, if you will. That's just always been my philosophy. I like to see guys get better, and if there's a guy out there that graduates somewhere and he's a great kid, he's got the character that we look for. He's got the background that fits here, and certainly he could help us fill a need. Sure, I'd be open to that. But we don't get a lot of those opportunities here.
Speaking of developing guys, building through the draft, that kind of is the story of the 5 guys. Well, collectively the 5 guys on the offensive line, because they came with different purposes originally, and some of them moved around a little bit, and maybe 1 or 2 of them weren't totally convinced they could do this. And that's...
Yeah, guys, somebody called last night and was talking about, they wanted me to name somebody about who's developed, name one guy, and I'm like, and it's a really good problem to not be able to do that. And I just started listing. How about Greg Hugel? Talk about development. How about Joe Gore? How about all those offensive linemen? How about how Mitch Hyatt's developed? How about Falcinelli? How about Maverick Morris? How about Jordan Leggett? Tried to get all of y'all to buy in on the Jordan Leggett train, and none of you would take the bait. None of you. Y'all go, yeah, we'll wait and see. And I don't blame you, because of kind of what he had done the first couple of years. But, look at what Jordan Leggett's done. Development. He wasn't quite ready for the show as a freshman, wasn't quite ready for the show as a sophomore, but man, you just kind of hang in there and guys get better. They grow up, they mature, they get stronger, they figure life out a little bit, and now he's a Mackey finalist. 8 finalists, and he's one of them. I just think that's awesome. How about the development of Sharon Peak? How about the development of Dion and Ray and Artavis, and how about the development of Kevin Dodd? Wow, that's development. Development of B.J. Goodson. What are we going to do? The world's over. We've lost 1 million starters on defense, and Stephon Anthony's a first-rounder starting for the Saints. Oh, B.J. Goodson's played pretty good football for us. He steps right in. Cordray Tankersley, development. T.J. Green, development. You can just go on and on and on. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. So we've got development going on at all over the place. You got some guys that show up, and like I said, if we don't screw them up, they're great players. Just kind of McKenzie, we don't mess him up, he's going to be a great player. Now, he's a guy you got to manage because he brings different issues because he's a different personality and all that type of stuff. Sammy Watkins, man, you just throw him out there, get him going in the right direction, and but there's very few guys like that. Very, very few. Most guys have to go through a developmental process, and our coaching staff does a great job with that.
Open now with your guys about the college football playoff. Does that translate over to Deshaun Watson and maybe the Heisman talk as well? Have you had those conversations with him? And maybe a follow-up question, where should your role be in vouching for him now to be nominated for the award?
I don't have to vouch for him. Just watch the games. He vouches for himself. That's one of the things that I tell our players all the time is, your voice is how you play. You make a statement by how you play the game. You state your case by how you play the game. So, that's really all that needs to be said. He's Deshaun Watson, and as I've said many times, I think he's the best quarterback in the country, and I think he's maybe becoming one of the best player in the country. But that's my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. That's mine. I love our quarterback. Wouldn't trade him for anybody. And he's led this team. He has really grown into his leadership role. He's taken command and ownership of everything that happens. And I love the fire that he's got in his gut right now. And he is so humble and so unselfish, and just loves his teammates. He's one of the easiest guys I've ever been around, day in and day out. As far as all that other stuff, you just got to go play. If you play well, all those things take care of itself. You're not going to talk yourself into it. You can't, as I tell our guys, don't talk about it, be about it. So that's all we need to worry about. Just keep playing. And if he's good enough to get it done, and he'll get it done. If he's not, he won't. I love him anyway. He doesn't need to win the Heisman Trophy for me to love him. I love him. I'll take him. I don't care what anybody else votes. So it doesn't really matter. And as far as again, I'm just telling you, we got 18 days left. And we got a lot of work to get done in 18 days. We got to be workmanlike. We got to be focused. We cannot waste one day. And that's what the message is about, is having the best Tuesday that we can possibly have. 100% dialed in on what we're doing today. Win today.
That fire that you're talking about, are you referring to like cutthroat competitor kind of blossoming up like lately? In
Cutthroat? What is that? What do you mean by that?
The competitive fire.
I just he's just so comfortable in his role, as far as being the commander out on the field. And he's just got such ownership of our offense. He wants the ball, and he wants it in crunch time, and I love that. He doesn't really flinch. He doesn't really care what's happening with the defense. He doesn't get distracted if all of a sudden they give up a 60-yard touchdown. He doesn't really care. He's just going to go play. And I just think that if he has a bad play, if he makes a mistake, it just doesn't affect him. And that's what I like the most about Deshaun. He really brings a a poise and a presence to that group offensively, and they feed off of that.
And what's your level